Solve the following system of equations by the substitution method. So we have the equations x minus 2y equals 3 and 4x plus 5y equals minus 14. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find values of x and y that satisfy both the equations at the same time using the substitution method here to solve. So the way this works is we have a couple steps that we're going to follow here. So the first step is to take one of the equations and solve for one of the variables. So it does not matter which equation and which variable you solve for, just find one. However, it is easier to take a particular equation and to solve for one of the variables. So if you take x minus 2y equals 3, it's really easy to solve for x. I can just add 2y on both sides. So let me do that here. So you get plus 2y, then this cancels on the left hand side and you get x equals 3 plus 2y. All right, and the thing about the x minus 2y equation equals 3, the reason I wanted to solve for x furthermore was that x has a coefficient of 1. Equations that have a coefficient of 1 are kind of nice to work with. Okay. Second step is this. Replace the variable which you solved in part 1 and replace said variable in the other equation. So what we mean by that is this. We have the other equation, 4x plus 5y equals negative 14. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace the x right here with x equals 3 plus 2y. We're going to replace it with 3 plus 2y. So that x becomes 3 plus 2y now. Okay, so whatever you solve for in part 1, whatever that variable is, you're going to take the variable in the second equation and you're going to replace it with what the variable in part 1 equals. So that x becomes 3 plus 2y. And the goal here is that you have an equation in one variable. And step 3 here, if you can call it, solve the equation. And yeah, if I went ahead and did that, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of, do a couple of operations. I'm going to distribute this 4. So you get 4 times 3, 12, plus 4 times 2y, 8y, plus 5y equals minus 14. 8y and 5y are like terms. 8y plus 5y is 13y. Subtract 12 on the other side. And get the y's by themselves, the variables by themselves. So this side, this is gone. 13y equals minus 26. And I'll divide by 13. Y equals minus 2. So now we need to find what the other variable is, which is x. So find the value of the other variable. And now you have some options for that. However, my advice is this. Go back to the equation you got for part 1. So when you solve for the one variable, which was x equals 3 plus 2y here, just making sure. You would get x equals 3 plus 2 times minus 2, 3 minus 4 equals minus 1. So your solution, if you were to write it out as a point, would be minus 1 comma negative 2. Okay, and you can always check your work by plugging this in back into the original system of equations up here. And yeah, plug in x and y and seeing that when you replace x and y in the first equation, you get 3, and when you replace x and y in the second equation, you get negative 14. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.